The lessons learned from the incident that took place few days ago between the Honorable Minister of FCT, Honorable Nyesom Wike, and a naval officer, Lieutenant Ahmad M. Yarima, cannot be overemphasized. As many Nigerians, both notable, popular and unpopular Nigerians, have lent their voice to condemn that very incident, many saying in strong terms that that very incident should not have taken place, that it was an avoidable incident. Many went further to condemn or rather blame the Honorable Minister of FCT, Honorable Nyesom Wike, based on the way he conducted himself, raining abuses on the naval officer as against what is expected of a public office holder. Many regarded that very public display as rascality. In this section, Honorable Nyesom Wike have taken time to respond to the former Chief of Army Staff, who also lent his voice condemning Wike's action, maintaining in clarity that Wike's public display on that very day is a clear threat to Nigerians' national security and a heavy blow to the core of Nigerians' command and control structures. Nyesom Wike also went further in this section to make a very serious allegation against the former Chief of Army Staff. According to Nyesom Wike, it was the same army officer who ordered his GOC to buy me, the same army officer who wanted to unalive me. On my hand, no deal. The allegation, they very strong. Mona, watch the video.
That's what this never do. I didn't want one former Chief of Army Staff. He cannot tell me of decency and this. He cannot teach me. This was the same man who came to direct the GOC to rig me election 2019. He couldn't rig me. He lost. He told his GOC that he should kill me. I couldn't be killed. He became agent in the APC primary for one of the presidential aspirants. He became agent. Look at the rank. Becoming a polling agent. He lost. He's the one comment that the minister did this and that. I mean, I've never seen people like this. I have no regret of my political opponents. I got not to make them have sleepless night. Whether you're in PDP, whether you're in APC, whether you're in ADC, it's my business. I have no regret supporting President Tinubu. And I never hit my intention. And I'll continue to do it. So if you like, write anything you want to write. In as much as I know, I'm standing by the side of the law. If you like, bring every ethnicity, coloration in your business. I couldn't have, anybody should know. You see, my health here, commission, so yes, me, I'm a minister, but representing Mr. President, that alone should have given you that decorum. No. You choose to challenge the minister, the president, and then you think that I'm not a human being, I'm very emotions. You're carrying out an illegal job. When people say order, do you need to carry out an illegal order? When you are an officer, you are doing something that's illegal. Even if it's a legal order given to you, but that function you are doing is illegal. Police was built here under high tension. Police, even as an institution, not private. They arrested our officers. I said, wow, I went there by myself. Look at high tension. Even if they are not seeing me, you will not encourage that. And I said, no, you can't continue to do it. It's not good. And I educate, and I think look at the documents. He said, you didn't know. They should obey it. An institution, not as private individual. Nobody will respect law. Nobody will do anything. Even when you take action, I'm aware I'm coming as the minister, people were opposed to it. Yeah, but I'm here.
This very allegation, on a more serious note, they very, very strong. Yes. And in view of this, many Nigerians are calling on Nigeria, military headquarters, the Nigerian army, to rise to the challenges of addressing this very claim that has been made by Honorable Minister of FCT, Honorable Nyesom Wike. And some public opinion have gone further to tag the Nigerian army headquarters that it is time they rise up to the challenges of addressing this very claim once but for all. Many of you can equally recall that this is practically not the very first time Nyesom Wike is making or was making this very allegation. He made this allegation some time ago, some years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So this very time, it will be honorable for the Nigerian army or possibly the former chief of staff to rise up to respond accordingly to this very claim by Nyesom Wike. And here are some comments from public opinion. This person wrote, tagging the defense headquarters and the Nigerian army, should please look into these allegations from Wike and substantiate them. He may come back to deny them soon. Another person wrote, this is a heavy allegation on both General Brutai and Nigerian army headquarters. This is defamation unless there is proof. And keeping quiet means that the chief of army staff is not just a politician, but a hitman. This person made some valid argument here. Another person wrote, dear defense headquarters and Nigerian army, these are heavy claims by Governor Wike involving murder allegations against one of your general. You need to investigate this seriously and put Wike to order. Keeping quiet means what he said is true. Kindly take legal action. Well, in the same vein, just like Nyesom Wike had already granted a press briefing, in some of the video sections, he was trying to substantiate his actions, trying to let Nigerians know that he went there on a legal move to actually stop people from building illegally in order to grab or take land that belongs to the federal government back to federal government. He was trying to say that on no account should a military officer respect him who is an instituted or constituted or elected or appointed officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not just an officer, but a minister representing Mr. President. He said that in one of the video sections where he claimed that people must respect him, that he is a representative of Mr. President, who is the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. In fact, make on watch that small video clip.
You Ghana people, they write all sort of jokes in newspapers. Wike did this, Wike did that. Wike shouldn't have done that. Why did they talk to him? I represent president as a minister. So if, for example, if you abuse a minister arrives, you cannot have that decorum, that respect to sir.
Well, in view of Honorable Nyesom Wike's move to juxtapose his actions on why he was raining verbal insult and assault to the naval officer in a way that tries to exonerate him from the condemnations many Nigerians have given to him, a Lieutenant General, a former Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Irabor, has kept the record straight, which undoubtedly will go further to send a clear message to Honorable Nyesom Wike on what command and control structure means, of what it means for any Nigerian military officer that serves under the Nigerian flag, what they truly represent. Wanna watch the video.
The uniform is not about who is wearing it. The uniform represents the authority of the state. Whether it's a small boy or not, it is the authority of the state. It's even worse when it is a commission officer who has a presidential commission. And so when you make such disparaging comments, you have desecrated the oath. You have desecrated the oath. What you have told the commander-in-chief and the authority that invested that position on him is that they are fools. So it is wrong. And I think that for the media, it is not about, in any case, law has two ends. For those, we also studied law. I'm not learned, but then in military law, we also taught that for you to be able to establish a crime, there are two elements: actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus, meaning that, was this thing done? Is there something that was done? And then the mens rea, what is the intention behind it? So when a son says that the minister has authority over land and it's not the duty of a soldier, that is not the issue. Now, if you have any reason to believe that what the young man is doing, there is a channel. That's the rule of law. So you desecrating the oath, it has not left the realm of what the officer was doing. It is an offense against the state. So this is what you, the media, must try to highlight. I know that over the years, we have lost our educational traction. Civics that ought to be taught, these are things that primary school pupils, secondary school pupils ought to know.
Well, the truth is that, like I said from the beginning, the lessons learned from this very incident can never be overemphasized. Yes. We live in a country, if you listen to Nyesom Wike every time he's talking about impunity, lawlessness, and all of that. But if many of you were very, conversant or closely monitored the election that took place in Rivers State in 2023, you will have understood, or you will know that many a times, or most of the times, that our politicians are very good with rhetorics. They keep saying and preaching what they cannot do. What happened in Rivers State during 2023 presidential election was a total display of rascality to the peak, a total display of lawlessness, a total display of impunity. A typical example, Peter Obi won Rivers State, but the election result, the vote or the winning, was ascribed to APC. What other definition do you have for impunity? What other definition do you have for rascality? What other definition do you have for lawlessness? We saw how even some political office holders were taken into custody. We also saw what happened between himself and the current governor of Rivers State, Governor Sim Fubara. How at some point there were two conflicting police officers, team of police officers. Some were carrying the actions of the governor, the incumbent governor, while some were carrying the actions of the godfather. So our politicians should better spare us with all this beautiful gospel, all these beautiful rhetorics on, going by the rule of law. We don't have rule of law. We have seen it in many instances. It is a game that the elite will always win, that the politicians will always win. When it does not favor them, they will remember the law. When it does not favor them, they will remember impunity and rascality. But at the end of the day, the common man on the street of Nigeria bears the brunt. The common man on the street of Nigeria suffers it most. Because for the politicians, they are part of the elite. They will always swindle their way through. So they should save us all of these rhetorics of being patriotic citizens and all of that, until they themselves begin to coordinate themselves, comport themselves, and live by the virtues, by the principles, by the norms of what is expected of a public office holder. Then and only then will an average Nigeria or Nigerians begin to look up to them and would begin to dream to be like them and live like them. Otherwise, what they are teaching the younger people that are growing up is a clear case of rascality, bequeathing younger people with anarchy, anarchicious lifestyle, if there is anything like that. Well, anyways, we will keep learning, we'll keep hoping that all of this rascality begins to die down as we begin to wait for the defense headquarters, the Nigerian Army, the former chief of army staff, to rise up to the challenges of addressing this big allegation from Honorable Minister of FCT. I mean, it will be honorable for them to do this investigation properly so that this matter can be addressed. If Nyesom Wike na lie, they lie, we go know. If not true, we go know. But ultimately, as always, I will allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. Man, another person see him. God bless you.